Hi, it's Joe Remax, and I'm coming to you today with a little bit of news and updates. First in the news is my laptop died on me last week, so it's in for service. So this is going to be a bit of a run and gun video, not a lot of editing. So I just wanted to do a small update to keep in contact. Anyway, what's happening in Thailand? We've been in the news a little bit. I thought I would touch on that, and particularly in two topics. One is protest, and second being COVID-19. So I'm going to do the second one first and the first one second. So COVID-19, as far as most businesses, everything's operational. There is no lockdown in place right now. But with the border closed and tourism pretty well halted, a lot of businesses remain affected severely, and those are all linked to the hospitality and travel industry. We were down in Pattaya a week ago to do a beach cleanup with the school, and I have to say it's over half the businesses were shuttered. Whether they will reopen or not is another question. The Thai government is making efforts to rejuvenate and start some kind of tourism. So there's another number of initiatives for locals to travel, and there's some initiatives to bring people in. So right now there has been introduced some special visas that allow people to come in for 90 days with renewal for 90 days twice. So that's up to 270 days. You'd have to go through a 14-day quarantine and meet many other requirements, kind of health checks and certificates and money. But the good news is they're starting to allow people in, and there's talk of reducing down quarantine time, that kind of thing. So that's kind of slowly progressing to something that is good news for all the tourism industry and people who would like to visit Thailand. The second topic I thought I would talk a little bit about would be the protests that you may have heard about going on in Thailand. And this is largely students who are interested in promoting a more democratic society. I have to be careful in my wordings, but what I would say is there's a movement whereby a lot of academics and young people are looking for some reform in government, in maybe having some new elections, some laws regarding lèse majesté. Really, I think what they're looking for is a little bit of a reform and a more democratic system overall. So we'll see how the government reacts to that. There have been some different initiatives. I know the Speaker of the House is trying to call emergency sessions to see if they can find resolution or some way forward in that is non-violent. So ideally, everything so far has been wonderfully orchestrated and carried out. I have seen no violence whatsoever on the part of protesters. They are very well behaved, and yeah, let's see how it goes for them. So what does that mean for you, for my viewers, for investing in Thailand? I think in the long run, both these pieces of news means that we are slowly progressing back to maybe an old normal, slowly. But I believe they're steps in the right direction. I hope for the best, and that COVID is reduced in its impact on travel, and that we can welcome many more people to Thailand. And of course, any kind of democratic reform that leads to a happier society, I think has to be good for economies, has to be good for the real estate business. So I'm rooting for a little bit of both sides. I hope that tourism can be restored to a certain degree. I think it people I talk to in industry says it will take a while being probably 2 years before we get back to previous levels. Vaccines may play a part. Anyway, as far as real estate, we do see movement, we do see people buying, selling, and their motivations behind that can be different for each case. Busy, there's a large amount of inquiries, so the transactions are down. I think that would reflect that a lot of people are trying to understand the situation. They're trying to look for deals and bargains, and I would say finally people are cautious, and that I would expect, but those people who are investors or other people looking to get in at a good price, it's starting to happen. So I see that in the market. So all in all, I would say that I wouldn't worry a lot about the protests. I don't think it's going to result in anything terrible, only something good one way or the other. And with COVID, I don't think it could have got much worse as far as borders being completely closed. It's only going to get better. So that's my wrap up for this little video. I appreciate your understanding in that, not a super lot of editing that I can do given my laptop is away, but I did want to just say hi and hope to hear from you guys in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll do my best to respond to comments and questions. Thanks a lot. Hope to see you again soon.